To be a witness to the total transformation of the city in the last 30 years, it's so extraordinary, really. It's as if you can't go anywhere now without there being cranes breaking the horizon. Maybe that's a good thing. I mean, you just have to ask who's doing it and who for.
See the story of my life from up here. London is a collection of villages that grew into one great big megalopolis. And I think it still has that character. Different areas of it are so different. There is a texture that is somehow still connected to the villages and the waterways. I was just bicycling here between Paddington Basin and my studio, which was also a squat on Bingfield Street. And this little boy said, "Hey, mister, do you want a house?" I said, "Yeah, that's exactly what I need," because I was living in a very, very short boat. And we moved in there. It was easy then in London. You could squat anywhere. About 6 months later, we moved in down there. And we took that whole place over. 22 artists worked there for nearly 7 years. Entirely free. How things have changed.
In 1990, we moved to Camden Town. Back to King's Cross, in fact. I mean, or very close to it. And that's where I've been for the last 25 years. This building was built by David Chipperfield for me. It took about 18 months to design and about a year to build, and it's the best thing I did in my life. I just said, please make us a shed that contains light, space, and silence, and that's what he did. Every time I come in here, my heart leaps, because it's just the best playground for a grown-up that you could imagine.
Is this bad? I didn't like the sound of that.
I'm not interested in art as distraction or as entertainment. I am interested in art as a catalyst for making people aware of how extraordinary their lives are already. Over 50% of the world's population now lives in the city. Well, what does that mean? It means that we're in relating to the world, or to being alive, we're relating primarily with a built environment. That means a humanly constructed habitat. Well, I think this has very profound effects on our imagination. I think that the truth is that human nature only makes sense in relation to nature. Feeling the seasons, being aware of the elements. And I hope that what my work does is somehow make these things that act as a sort of acupuncture points within a given environment, whether it's down by the sea or whether it's all over a city, that asks us to attend. Oh, I see this body isolated in space against the sky. Through the agency of this body, I will become aware of the sky. You might say, well, doesn't everybody do that anyway? Well, they do and they don't, is the truth.
Here we are wandering about the Euston Road. Euston Road, as you can see, is a bloody great big smelly, noisy artery. And it's rather an extraordinary thing that this institution, the British Library, should find itself moving from the central courtyard of the British Museum to this, the smelliest, noisiest, dirtiest place in London. As we move from the noise and chaos of Euston Road, we find ourselves in a piazza not unlike Siena. In it, I've placed the witness chair. The idea of this work is that it is an invitation for you to sit on the chair and look at the world. And I guess I wanted to make a sculpture that wasn't of somebody, but simply invited all of us to be witnesses to the world that we collectively make.
quite a lot of central London is now bought and developed and then abandoned. That's a really sad thing to happen, and we've got to watch out. We've got to be aware that cities need new ideas, new blood, new ways of doing things that will result in a rich and hybrid city life. London has always welcomed migrants, and long may it do so, in my view. I'm very proud of being a Londoner. I think we have got to be careful not to sell it, not to lose that richness of texture that is so much about welcoming the rest of the world here and saying, show us what you've got and let's make something together.
The city doesn't really belong to its resident. The city is very grand, very big, but it's not designed to consider ordinary people's life